Hey there, Pisces. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to your tarot card reading for November 2023. Once I lay out the cards, I'll identify their positions, go through the meanings, do clarifications, and close off with some oracle cards for additional guidance. Feel free to take with you whatever messages resonate and leave behind for others whatever does not. Okay, Pisces, so the way this is set up, in the middle here, this represents what's going on with you in general. On the right, we have career and finances. On the left, we have love. So at the top, current perspective, you have the Knight of Cups. What is influencing your emotions? You have the Judgment card. Truth to embrace, Ace of Wands. When it comes to career and finances, in the past, you have the Sun. In the present, you have the Star. And in the future, you have the Nine of Wands. In terms of advice for career and finances, you have the Ace of Pentacles. In the past, when it comes to your love life, you have the Six of Pentacles. And in the present, you have the Lovers. And in the future, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Advice for your love life, you have the Eight of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, the influencing energy for this reading, you have the Hierophant. So perhaps dealing with tradition, rules, dogma, how you kind of discipline yourself when it comes to going after what you want, or kind of like almost like what signs you look for to kind of tell you, the secret of what's really there. So in terms of your current perspective with this Knight of Cup, you could be tapping into your watery Pisces energy and exploring your intuition, your creativity, your artistry. It also could be wanting to be more honest and, leading with your heart, opening up a lot of yourself, or seeing that's something that is intriguing to you. What's influencing your emotions with this Judgment card could be that in order to get there, perhaps you have to honestly reflect on, your beliefs, your belief system, things that you tend to do, actions you tend to take, and honestly reflect on those and let go of maybe some baggage and kind of, create a new tune for you. A kind of like a recognition of needing to be like reborn in a way where you don't have certain ideas holding you back, holding you down. Truth to embrace with this Ace of Wands is there seems that you want to pursue something new. You want to maybe follow your heart, follow your passion, be more expressive. And perhaps there are certain ways that you have kind of certain beliefs that you have with this Hierophant on what to do in order to get where you think you want to be. So let's take a look at that Knight of Cups in your current perspective. We have here the Queen of Swords. So it's interesting, you've got Knight of Cups here coming from this more emotional aspect of yourself. And then the Queen of Swords is, I would say, more trying to protect that emotional aspect, that sensitive part, and trying to be more logical. What's interesting, I noticed this Justice card here. I feel the Queen of Swords is the court card version of this Justice card, with almost kind of wanting to, make sure everything is fair and balanced and practical and not really having your emotions involved. And the Hierophant, to a certain degree, is kind of adhering to certain rules and traditions and separating your emotional beliefs or doubts and kind of being kind of following that discipline. So here it seems like you are maybe conflicted about how you've been portraying yourself, or conflicted about how you feel about something, and this recognition of needing to honestly reflect and let go of what's not true, what no longer serves you, what is no longer true. We have here the Lovers card, which is interesting because right now in your love life, you have Lovers card in your present. So it could be that, again, reflecting about how you pursue things, either more rationally as opposed to emotionally, and needing to recognize like maybe where you are or how you got somewhere, and see whether or not you want to switch that up. With the Ace of Wands here, it's opportunities for inspiration, passion, movement. But those opportunities are, can be fleeting. So let's take a look at the Ace of Wands here. You have Six of Cups, which is kind of indicating something about your past, nostalgia, inner child. I get the sense this truth to embrace is possibly a desire that you've had for a while to change things, or maybe that you had when you were younger, and maybe a practical approach to how you were raised, or a mentor, someone you looked up to, kind of help to quash those childish dreams or desires, and look at the practical aspect of it a bit more so. And actually, since we're talking about practical, I'm going to go over here to your love life in the past with the Six of Pentacles. In terms of Six of Pentacles, it's about giving and receiving, and a sense of balance and creating harmony, and kind of allowing things, allowing there to be give and take and back and forth, but also a sense of charity kind of falls into it. So it's almost a sense of maybe in the past, when it comes to your love life, you kind of looked at things from a more practical aspect of is this person showing up? Are they following through? Are they investing in this financially or with their time? And not necessarily about the emotional connection. Here with the Lovers in the present, it seems like you would think that there's more of emotional connection, but the Lovers is, what am I thinking? For the major, is the major arcana card for the sign of Gemini, which is an air sign, is also more like practical, logical aspect. But with the Lovers, it's about communication and kind of being true to yourself, so that this communication and this connection is based on genuine understanding of who you are, what the other person wants, or who that person is, and committing to that, or uniting on that honesty. So there is emotion involved in Lovers. Of course, it's not emotionless, but it is more about communicating ideas and who you are, and with the and also about making a choice, a decision to be with a specific person. And for the future, you have the Knight of Pentacles. So again, back to a concept of practicality, and this is the slowest moving Knight. So there is benefits to moving slowly in a relationship, especially the Knight of Pentacles wants to make sure that they are setting up for the future that they want for themselves, that they're staying true to that. And the advice here, you have the Eight of Wands, and you can see this witch seems to be overwhelmed by all of these wands kind of like whirling too quickly. So for some of you, I feel like this is kind of you evaluating, really, is it passion, is it feelings, or is it practicality, putting in the work, making a decision that is really, you know, what matters when it comes to commitments and love, or even commitments with work. But I feel like it's all of those things. So let's take a look at those Six of Pentacles in the past. You have the Three of Cups. It's a card of friendship and happiness, but it's also kind of there's emotion showing up. Is that the, yeah, that's emotion showing up here, but it's also kind of like friendship. And it could be passion, but it's more like making things work. That's kind of the vibe I get from it. So let's take a look at the Lovers in the present position. You have the Nine of Cups. So definitely more emotions in here, wanting to be fulfilled, wanting to share your happiness with someone else. And again, that concept of knowing who you are, kind of embracing who you are and being happy with yourself, and then kind of uniting, committing, joining up, partnering with someone who knows who they are, so that there's like a true connection going on, and not one person trying to be what the other person thinks that they want them to be. So let's take a look at the Knight of Pentacles in the future. We have here the Ten of Swords, and this is about, you know, things hitting rock bottom, coming to an end. So to me, I feel like this judgment, this emotional influence, it could be that you are assessing like what makes you truly happy, what you want to, like, you starting to lead with your heart and making decisions and kind of evaluating, assessing what it is that you have kind of agreed to in the past when it comes to love and what you consider to be a loving relationship. And it's almost a sense of this aspect of what's practical. It's almost as if there is, like, to me, it's not necessarily the way you want to go. I'm actually going to pull another card because I think it's really interesting that in the future over here, you've got the Nine of Wands, but you have the Sun and the Star in the past and the present, and the Ace of Wands for the advice. So this kind of comes out of left field. And it's almost as if this Ten of Swords comes out of left field for the future as well. But it could be in regard to this, like, justice and the Hierophant, like the beliefs that you are kind of reassessing and need to honestly reflect on, almost like preparing for the worst, and possibly kind of thinking, well, the practical aspect, you know, I need to go back to the practicality of it because things could go bad. And, you know, if it goes too fast, then you never know, you know, you won't see it go bad type of thing. So let's take a look at the Eight of Wands for the advice, which is kind of like, to me, Eight of Wands is like advancement and progress. And to me, it's almost a sense of you have learned in the past when things are just practical, how to deal with, you know, connections that are advancing, and possibly even ending those, you know, easier. But when you are going more towards connection with emotions and passions, then, you know, managing those, even ending those relationships, that's there's more feelings involved. There's more kind of I guess your emotions are clouding what might be practical, matter of fact. So to me, it's almost a sense of the Hierophant and the Justice card being how you protected yourself or have been protecting yourself, and wanting to let your guard down to tap into this more emotional, passionate side that maybe was stamped out of you when you were younger, or that you were taught to kind of ignore or suppress, because that wouldn't help you. You know, it's almost like those are just fairy tales or just daydreaming, and trying to get you more in the reality of things, or that's kind of like how you were told about, you know, dealing with feelings. So here we have the Knight of Swords. Knights are very fast moving. They are, I believe, air and fire. So I think the advice is kind of this practice, this system that you had set up, did it really help you to kind of, I want to say, not nullify, but kind of have you expect nothing, almost like made things very practical, very much you almost knew how to navigate through it. Really not much to gain, but nothing to lose. And here I feel like this advice is like, you want to be involved in life. You want to like actually engage in making decisions and communicating and moving forward. And I feel like this ace, the truth to embrace with the Ace of Wands and Six of Cups, is kind of, you know this about you. You've been wanting to kind of break free of something for a while, and that this kind of aspect of evaluating how you know, commit to relationships, commit to life-changing decisions, and how you feel about yourself in the process is kind of all part of it. So let's go over to your career, if that wasn't heavy enough. In the past with the Sun card, it's a sense of like happiness, being energized. With the Star, a sense of clarity and hope. And then here with the Nine of Wands, you know, being injured and preparing for the worst. And it could be because of something in the past that you haven't really dealt with, or that you keep thinking is going to happen, but you're not really aware of what's in your environment. You're prepared to keep going and operating off of those same beliefs, and you will be able to accomplish what you need to accomplish. But whether that is the truth of the situation or the way you want to accomplish it, that's for you to assess. The advice here, you have the Ace of Pentacles. So this could be, you know, with the Sun and the Star, it could be a new way for you to earn money, a new job, a new career path, something for you to invest in your future. And that opportunity, it's almost a sense of like, you have to take a hold of that opportunity. You have to invest in it. You have to be disciplined to a certain degree, have fun with it, but also you need to invest in it. And what you put into it is kind of what you get out of it. So here, back to this Hierophant and Justice card, the influencing energy. It could be just something that you learned when you were younger or in the past about, you know, something that it's almost like a feeling of like nothing good lasts forever, or, you know, what was once new is going to turn old at some point, like that kind of concept. So let's take a look at the Sun in the past. You have this Judgment card. So it seems like to a certain degree, this concept of reevaluation, needing to let go of things that no longer serve you, is not something that's new to you. It doesn't necessarily just apply to love or your connections with other people. It's about also how you feel happiness and confidence in yourself, and possibly trying to become more practical. It's like, don't, almost that concept of don't get on your high horse type of thing, because if you fall off, the higher you are, the harder the fall type of thing. So let's take a look at the star in the present. We have the Temperance card, more major arcana cards. So the star and temperance are very similar with this concept of the two cups. Here with the star, it's like replenishing the earth and the water, kind of balancing emotions and practical material world, in a sense of renewal and kind of guidance for the future. And with temperance, it is about having the ability to manage extremes. So Pisces, if you have issues with, the star isn't necessarily about depression, but and neither is temperance, but temperance is about kind of moderation, trying to find the middle ground. And star, I don't read reversals, but it can like have that energy of kind of being hopeless as well. So I feel like it's a slippery slope of being hopeful, making a change, a positive change for your future, and feeling like things are going your way, and then maybe having this reality, which is more not necessarily reality, but like it's almost like the Devil card, which hasn't showed up, but a sense of just old patterns, old ways of thinking about things, old situations kind of coming up, almost like a PTSD type of thing when things get too good. We have here the 8 of Pentacles for your future. So it's, like I said, you'll be able to work through this, but it's almost asking you to kind of really reassess like how you are looking at what you're doing. Focus on what your skills are, your talents are, what you're trying to create for yourself. And like if you are pouring your heart and soul into something that you're doing, is it something that you kind of are there because you're excited about it and it kind of seems like you are or you were? And whether you pursuing it going forward is like almost like get your confidence back for that. So here, the Ace of Pentacles, the advice of like, this is your opportunity kind of to create, your future, what you want, and how you invest in that. So here we have here the 9 of Swords. So you got 9 of Wands, 9 of Swords, 10 of Swords over here. I feel like a lot of swords coming up, a lot of sense of fear, unknowns. And it's almost like this opportunity, there's a lot of things you don't know the information about. And so there might be a tendency just to go for like, it might be the worst. So I feel like for you, there's a lot of opportunities, and I'm going to call them opportunities, where you are dealing with these areas of discomfort and thoughts that are really not helpful, and learning from those to see like, what is it that you want to change, need to change, because it seems like with this double Judgment card affecting, how you feel about yourself and how you're seen by others and your connections with others. It seems like that is really key. So Pisces, I'm going to go ahead and close off with some messages for you, for your love life, and for your career. So let's see here. Wait, these are the tarot cards. We don't need those anymore. We need oracle cards. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and pull these, and then I will kind of see how they fit in with the reading and let you know my thoughts about them. Oops. Okay. All right, so here you have this card of patience. Basically, here you can see there's a seed that's been planted. It's making me think of this Ace of Pentacles. And really, there's things that you need to do to kind of get the seed to grow, like initial investments that you need to do, like, water, fertilizer, whatever those things are. But then there's a point where you just have to let things happen, and in that process accept that you can't force things, you can't rush things, and it's almost that these negative thoughts, or like kind of looking at things from, well, what's the worst that can happen, almost is it's not helping in that process. I think it's interesting that you have this breakthrough card. So this is supposed to be like some stone that you have that kind of has, I think it's like your desires or something, or your truth. But basically, ultimately this breakthrough card is like something has been building up, like this Ace of Wands, Six of Cups, possibly since your childhood, and things are breaking through. The cracks are starting to show, and the truth really wants to come out, especially with these double judgment cards. You've got this passions. Don't be afraid to fail. Follow what makes your heart happy. So the idea of failure, maybe even this Ten of Swords over here, you learn from your failures. You learn what you want and you don't want from your failures. But I really like this. Don't be afraid to fail. So being, if you do the practical thing and you're not emotionally invested, it's easier to, let those things go. But it's the passions that matter. So let's see here. You have peace and contentment are coming to you. And I think that peace comes from those honest reflections of what doesn't serve you. And for your career, you have shopping and pay bills. So here I would say, like, for some of you, just there are things that are practical when it comes to if you don't have a lot of money, or you're starting up a new job, or you're trying to build up your resources, is just manage what you are spending things on, like spending your money on, and that includes buying things and paying your bills. And then beyond that, don't stress way too much about it. I think these are like the practical things to focus on. And if there are other things coming up that are outside of your control, then this anxiety, it might have to do with that, afraid to fail and have it fail when it really matters. So I would say for some of you, possibly trying to talk to a counselor. What's interesting, this Justice card and Hierophants, these can be mentors, they could be counselors as well. Somehow I feel like this from your past has made it that you are really hard on yourself and almost don't want to allow yourself to dream. But possibly talking to someone outside of whoever contributed to these ideas, someone who is objective, could really help you to reestablish that, where you are coming more from the heart and really more going after what it is that you're passionate about. So Pisces, I hope this reading provides a helpful perspective of your month. We'll see you next time. Take care.